He wasn't always invisible. Once he had a name, a face, now just an echo, a whisper in a crowded room.
He yearned to see the world, to feel the pulse of life again, even if he couldn't participate. His invisibility, a curse, became his ticket. No passport control, no visa lines, just him, the world, and 80 days.
His journey began in Europe, the continent of his birth, now a fading memory. He slipped through cobbled streets, a ghost in broad daylight.
The Eiffel Tower, once a symbol of aspiration, now loomed like a steel sentinel. He moved on, eastward bound.
Istanbul, city of minarets and spices, a swirling blend of east and west. He drifted through the Grand Bazaar, a kaleidoscope of colors, scents and sounds.
Silks, spices, the rhythmic chanting of vendors, a sensory feast. He couldn't taste the Turkish delight, the sweet scent, a torment, but he could feel the energy, the vibrant pulse of the city.
He moved on, a shadow slipping through ancient ruins, remnants of empires lost and forgotten. Ephesus, Petra, Angkor Wat. Each stone whispered stories of grandeur and decay, of civilizations that had risen and fallen.
He felt a kinship with these ghosts of the past, a shared sense of displacement, of being caught between worlds. The Great Wall of China snaked across the horizon, a testament to human endeavor, to the will to conquer nature itself. He moved on, his journey just beginning.
India, a riot of colors, smells, sounds. He could almost taste it, the turmeric, the cumin, the chili. He drifted through crowded bazaars, a ghost in a sea of humanity.
Cows wandered freely, sacred, untouchable. He envied their solidity, their place in this chaotic world.
Now he followed the ghostly path of the Silk Road, a phantom caravan traversing deserts and mountains. He imagined the camel trains laden with silks, spices and secrets.
He reached the Himalayas, the roof of the world. He moved on, seeking solace in the unknown.
Bhutan, a hidden kingdom nestled in the Himalayas. He had heard whispers of its beauty, its serenity. He climbed the steep mountain path, his breath ragged in the thin air.
The silence was broken only by the wind whistling through prayer flags. He reached Parotaksang, the Tiger's Nest monastery, clinging precariously to the cliff face.
He imagined the monks chanting within, their voices echoing through the mountains. He envied their faith, their connection to something larger than themselves.
He continued his journey, following the Mekong River, its brown waters snaking through lush green valleys. He moved on, learning to see the world with new eyes. Japan, a land of contrasts, of ancient traditions and futuristic technology.
He had always been fascinated by its duality, its ability to embrace both the old and the new.
He started in Tokyo, a city that never sleeps, a neon-lit labyrinth of skyscrapers and subways.
He wandered through the crowded streets, anonymous, unseen. He watched salarymen in their dark suits, their faces etched with fatigue, rushing to work. He saw schoolgirls in their sailor uniforms, giggling and whispering secrets. He felt the city's energy, its pulse, its frenetic pace.
He escaped the urban chaos, seeking refuge in the peace and tranquility of Kyoto's ancient temples. He moved on, understanding that true invisibility was about truly seeing the world around him. Australia, a vast untamed land, a continent adrift. He ventured into the outback, the heart of the continent, where the land stretched out before him, flat and unforgiving. He had always pictured it in shades of ochre and gold, a land of endless deserts and ancient stories. He arrived in Sydney, a city perched on the edge of the world, its iconic opera house shimmering like a mirage in the summer heat. He walked the harbour bridge, unseen amidst the throngs of tourists, and felt the city buzzing beneath him. He watched surfers ride the waves at Bondi Beach, their bodies dwarfed by the immensity of the ocean. He felt a sense of awe, of insignificance, in the face of nature's raw power.
He sailed the Whitsunday Islands, the turquoise water sparkling under a cloudless sky. He saw fish of every color imaginable darting amongst the coral reefs. He felt the sand between his toes, the sun on his skin, and for a moment he forgot about his invisibility, about his loneliness.
He climbed Uluru Aya's rock, its massive bulk rising from the desert floor. He watched the sun set over the rock, painting it in shades of red and orange, and felt a sense of awe, of reverence for this sacred place.
He understood why it held such significance for the Aboriginal people, why it was a place of power and mystery. He left Australia feeling changed, transformed by his experiences. He had seen the beauty of the natural world, the resilience of the human spirit, the enduring power of ancient cultures.
He had learned to see the world with new eyes, to appreciate the interconnectedness of all things. He moved on, heading towards new horizons. South America, a continent of extremes, towering mountains, endless plains, vibrant cities pulsing with life.
He started in Colombia, the land of magical realism. Bogotá, a city clinging to the slopes of the Andes. Colonial architecture, graffiti art, a city of contrasts. He walked the cobbled streets, a ghost amidst the flower sellers and street musicians.
He rode a rickety bus high into the mountains, the air thinning with every turn. He reached a village shrouded in mist, the locals bundled against the cold. He moved on, feeling the weight of history, of ancient traditions clashing with modern realities. He descended into the Amazon rainforest, the air thick with humidity and the sounds of life. He had always imagined it as a place of mystery, of danger, of unimaginable biodiversity.
He hired a local guide, a wizened old man with eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the jungle. They traveled by dugout canoe, the river a black ribbon winding through the dense foliage. He saw monkeys swinging through the trees, parrots with feathers like jewels, snakes coiled on branches.
He felt a primal fear, a sense of being watched, of being hunted. He spent a night in a hammock, the jungle symphony playing around him. The air was alive with the sounds of insects, the calls of nocturnal animals, the rustling of leaves.
He couldn't sleep, his senses on high alert, his skin crawling with unseen insects. He moved on, realizing that invisibility was no protection against the forces that threatened the planet. He emerged from the jungle, blinking in the sunlight, feeling like he had been reborn. He traveled south to Argentina, the land of tango and gauchos. He reached Buenos Aires, a city of passion and melancholy. He felt it in the air, in the music, in the way people moved. He walked the wide avenues lined with grand European architecture, a reminder of Argentina's colonial past. He watched couples dancing tango in the plazas, their bodies entwined, their movements a language of love and longing. He felt a pang of loneliness, a yearning for connection.
He visited a traditional parrilla, the air thick with the smell of grilling meat. He couldn't taste the succulent steak, the Malbec wine, but he could feel the warmth of the fire, the camaraderie of the diners. He moved on, feeling the resilience of the human spirit. North America, a land of contradictions, vast and sprawling, a melting pot of cultures, a land of opportunity and struggle.
He started in New York City, the city that never sleeps, a concrete jungle buzzing with energy. He walked the crowded streets, a ghost amidst millions, the cacophony of the city washing over him. He rode the subway, feeling the rumble beneath his feet, the air thick with the smell of humanity. He watched people from all walks of life, their faces etched with hope, despair, ambition, indifference. He felt the pulse of the city, its relentless rhythm, its promise and its peril.
He visited the Statue of Liberty, her torch held high, a beacon of hope for generations of immigrants. He moved on, feeling the allure of the open road, the call of the unknown. He ventured into the Mojave Desert, the air dry and hot.
He reached Las Vegas, a city of neon lights and endless possibilities.
He felt the seductive pull of chance, the allure of risk.
He reached Niagara Falls, its waters thundering over the precipice.
He knew he would never forget this moment, humbled by nature's force. Africa, the mother continent, a land of ancient rhythms, of raw, untamed beauty.
He could almost feel it, The heat of the sun on his skin, the dust of the savannah beneath his feet, the pulse of life throbbing all around him.
He began his African sojourn in Tanzania, home to the Serengeti, a vast expanse of grasslands teeming with wildlife.
He had seen countless documentaries, but nothing could prepare him for the real thing.
The sheer scale of it all was overwhelming.
Wildebeest stretched as far as the eye could see, their hooves drumming a primal rhythm against the earth.
Zebras grazed peacefully, their stripes blending into the shimmering heat haze.
He watched unseen as lions stalked their prey, their movements a study in grace and power.
He felt a thrill run down his spine, a primal fear mixed with awe.
This was a world where survival was a daily struggle, where life and death danced a delicate dance.
He spent a night in a Maasai village, their huts clustered together for protection against the elements and predators.
He couldn't understand their language, but he felt the warmth of their welcome, the generosity of their spirit.
He watched them dance around a fire, their bodies silhouetted against the flames, their voices raised in ancient chants. Section 2, Echoes of Empires.
He traveled north to Ethiopia, a land of ancient history, its highlands dotted with monasteries carved into sheer cliff faces. He stood before the Church of St. George, its cross-shaped structure carved into the earth.
He journeyed on to Egypt, the land of pharaohs and pyramids. He stood before the Great Pyramid of Giza, its massive form dwarfing everything around it. He emerged into the burial chamber, its walls adorned with hieroglyphics, and felt a sense of awe.
Section 1. The World Through Invisible Eyes.
He stood on the cliffs of Dover, the white cliffs gleaming in the morning light. He had circled the globe, a phantom voyager on a quest for meaning. He had walked among ancient ruins, felt the pulse of vibrant cities, witnessed the raw power of nature. He had tasted the world through the experiences of others, seen its beauty and its pain through their eyes.
His invisibility, once a curse, had become a strange sort of gift. It had stripped him bare, forced him to confront his own loneliness. But it had also allowed him to see the world with an unfiltered clarity, to witness the human drama unfolding in its myriad forms.
He had started his journey as a ghost, a shadow seeking solace in anonymity. But along the way, something had shifted within him. He had found a different kind of connection, not through touch or words, but through shared experiences. He had learned that true invisibility was not about being unseen, but about truly seeing. He had learned to listen to the whispers of history in the wind, to see the stories etched on the faces of strangers, to feel the pulse of life thrumming beneath his feet.
Section 2, Homecoming.
He walked through the streets of his hometown, a place that had once felt familiar, now strangely alien. He saw the world with new eyes, the ordinary transformed into the extraordinary. The laughter of children playing in the park, the smell of freshly baked bread wafting from a bakery, the sight of an elderly couple walking hand in hand, these everyday moments held a newfound poignancy. He was still invisible, but he no longer felt invisible. He carried the world within him, a kaleidoscope of memories, emotions, and experiences. He had found a different kind of home, not a place, but a state of being, a deep connection to the world and its inhabitants.
He didn't know what the future held, but he no longer feared the unknown. He had learned to embrace the journey, to find beauty in the everyday, to cherish the fleeting moments of connection that life offered. He was a ghost, a shadow, a witness. He was invisible, but he was not unseen. He was home, but his journey had just begun.